Loading up a replay from Devil versus Rocket Row. Lizardmen versus Skaven. A matchup that in Warhammer 2 was unwinnable for Lizardmen. And then they got some new tech. Mostly Bob Tresh was playing them. Then they did okay. Then it got terrible for Lizardmen again. Then Game 3 came out and it was unwinnable for the Skaven for a while. And then the Skaven got some buffs and then it became unwinnable for the Lizardmen. And now the Lizardmen got some more buffs, so now it is an even matchup in my opinion. Two of the main culprits are actually on your screen right now. Three are Red Crested Skinks, Nakai the Wanderer, and a Quaddle. Quaddles with collision attacks are very tanky and hard to stop, so the Skaven get disrupted easily. Nakai with his charge animations also is very good at getting through things and causing mass issues, but he is a terror source that lowers your leadership, which is also very bad. And Red Crested Skinks are a spread formation, armor-piercing, aggressive infantry, which is very spooky as well. Now the Skaven, I said an even matchup, not favored. Skaven still have plenty of the things that make them great versus Lizardmen overall. Lots of armor-piercing, lots of crowd clearing, good spells. Rat Ogres are great. Everything's great. For the two builds, we have Skink Cohorts and Red Crested Skinks charging with Feral Cold Ones, a Quaddle, Nakai the Wanderer, a Beastcaster Flock of Doom, then some Ripperdactyls, and a Feral Bastiladon in the distance. On the other side for Skaven, a Clan Rat front line, Night Runners, and Skaven Slave Slingers with Ikid Zap Zap backing them up for some extra firepower, Eshin Triads, Rat Ogres, including the Pit Fighters that helps deep, and some other regular Rat Ogres, two Eshin Triads on the flanks, and Ikit Claw with Flensing Ruin and Howling Warp Gale. He did not use Howling Warp Gale to stop the Quaddle from coming in, however. I think he was saving it for Ripperdactyls or Pterodons, which the Ripperdactyls are just chilling in the background, staying safe. Probably need to get into the fight soon, but I can appreciate not wanting to throw them in right away where they just get netted and killed off. Pit Fighters and other Rat Ogres fighting against the Cold Ones and the Red Crested Skinks. They're not going to trade costs effectively. They'll win this probably, but the Pit Fighters cost as much as this Red Crested and the Feral Cold One combined. Already, Ikit Zap Zap is pushed away by the Quaddle, causing massive disruption. Nakai is attempting to get sniped out by Ikit, Overcasted Flensing Ruin, but Ikit doesn't need to run away. His support has left him all alone with Nakai and a bunch of Red Crested Skinks, so he needs to run for the hills as the Clan Rats continue to hold the line. Rat Ogres on the low ground, also sitting on top of Eshin Triads. That should be a really good engagement for the Skaven. But the front line falling apart is a big problem. Clan Rats get destroyed by the bound spells of the Quaddle and the Hippogriffs. Yes, the Hippogriffs riders, Ripperdactyl riders, arrive late. But now they're not going to get netted as easily. They won't get shut down as easily. They are going to be stopping a lot more Night Runners and things. Skaven are ahead on the balance of power. Their shooting getting shut down is concerning. Front lane falling apart is concerning. It's all expected. Ripperdactyls hanging out with the Quaddle. Should probably spread the efforts. Shut down more Skaven, especially those Night Runners. Could use a little bit of love. So it looks like the Court of Sotek is on that. Feral Bastiladon trying to offer a bit of cheap terror. Rolls through the Eshin Triads and does good damage to them, honestly. Triads are decent because they offer armor sundering. They also take a lot of damage from anything. Pit Fighters of Hell's Deep back in the fight. Looks like they'll side charge these Skinks, probably route them very quickly as the Night Runners finish off the Court of Sotek, but that is using a lot of their ammo, and it's not using it on the Quaddle and the Ripperdactyls. We're in the back line chasing off a bunch of things. So is Nakai. Looks like the Lizardmen are happy enough to just route off things and regroup later. Ikit and his lads are finishing off anything they can get their hands on. That's all pretty standard. Lizardmen falling further behind on the balance of power. But the thing about the balance of power is it doesn't factor in your leadership as much. So the Skaven, whenever they lose their health bars, it's much spookier than the balance of power would entail. Ikit Zap Zap crew is somewhere. They're not back on their mounts just yet, so I wonder where the actual crew is. See, I've selected it, so I should see little red outlines where they are. There they are. Ikit Zap Zap crew down in the low ground. Skinks nearby, but they're mostly safe. Maybe they get back on their mounts and start firing again. Ikit and the Eshin Triads taking on the Feral Bastiladon. That thing's only 650 gold. It's very tanky for that price point. Just a huge distraction piece, which is quite nice for Lizardmen. That's the price of a Plague Monk, by the way. Not the Censor Bearer, it's just a regular-ass Plague Monk. Ikit Zap Zap crew. They're now trying to run back to their mount. Skinks hot on their heels, though I don't think the Skinks even know they're hot on Ikit Zap Zap's heels. Some Skaven Slave Slingers managed to peel for themselves, but they'll need new targets soon. Nakai taking another Flensing Ruin as Ikit gets back to his fight with the Feral Bastiladon. Overcast damage hurts him a little bit. It'll hurt Nakai a lot more. Though his constant 10% damage resistance is pretty nice against Flensing Ruin. Just a 10% damage nerf. We take those. Ripperdactyls slowly getting ground out. Night Runner's pretty good at dealing damage to those guys for their price point. And Nakai is still trying to snipe out Ikit Claw. He should be able to, given enough time, so Ikit doesn't need to get away. His Eshin Triads have retreated, leaving him all alone. And how long left on that Flensing Ruin? 3 seconds, so Nakai will take at least another overcasted Flensing Ruin to kill off through spells alone. Now the Pit Fighters are very healthy. They could do some decent damage as the Night Runners are still peeling off the Ripperdactyl Riders. That's going very poorly for the Lizards. They do not like how much damage is coming out there. Nice little Brass Orb trying to kill off the Red Crested Skinks and leave it just a single entity fight versus the Pit Fighters of Hell's Deep. But the Pit Fighters are going to take a lot of damage too. Nakai and the Quaddle aren't fucking around. It's not like they have healing or anything. And Ikit is just firing on rapid fire, and every shot is hitting Nakai right now. The Warp Lightning Cannon is back online. Secret Agent Warp Lightning crew do get to their mounts, but then the Skink cohorts are coming after them. If Ikit has a Brass Orb or something, maybe he can save the crew. Otherwise, they're just going to die. So for now, they'll shoot Nakai. Do what they can while they can. A nice Flensing Ruin on that group of 3 single entities would be pretty huge. Nice Flock of Doom. Going to take out Clan Rats and Night Runners. Ikit Zap Zap is shut down. Ikit Claw himself is trying to fight Nakai. Unlimited power, giving him extra Winds of Magic and recharge. But he should not be taking a fight with these 3 big single entities right now, and he's really regretting it. And he's just waiting for that Flensing Ruin. Ripperdactyls fighting to the last man against Triads. Looks like that's going to be a bit of a wash. In the background, a bunch of Skaven are routing, and all of a sudden the balance of power is in the Lizardmen's favor. But here comes that Flensing Ruin we were waiting for. It is an undercast, but I understand you just need to get it out while 3 single entities are next to each other. I do think that's worth it, as much as it feels bad to not get an overcast done. Still some Night Runners in trees. Ikit is thinking of running in. I think he's just trying to route stuff, but Nakai also causes terror, so he's not one to be terror routed. And that was risky business. Flensing Ruin wears off. Nakai is at 16 leadership. Gets a little bit of leadership from Cold-Blooded and a charge. Beautiful collision attacks down the Night Runners as the Quaddle is still chasing Ikit Claw. Refuses to let him get away. Gets another hit in. Skaven Slave Slingers are trying to come back to the fight. Pit Fighters Hell's Deep are trying to come back. And the bounce power keeps swinging wildly every direction. But Nakai still in it, just by the skin of his teeth and Cold-Blooded. As soon as Cold-Blooded wears off, he will rout at this rate. Now Ikit is getting chased by the Quaddle. I told you it was really good in this matchup, and Nakai is even going to finish the job himself, charging back in, getting a side shot onto Ikit. Ikit is now routing. The bounce power shifts heavily against the Skaven, and I would agree that they are looking doomed. I don't know what can kill the Quaddle at this point. The Pit Fighters are too low, especially when Ikit dies. Not if, when. When Ikit dies, their leadership will just tank so much that they will shatter. And that is GG. Very close game, but a good demonstration of why I think this matchup is a lot more even now. Nakai did well, Beastcaster did well, Red Crested Skinks did fine. Feral Coldon still did okay. Ripperdactyls had a hard time, still don't have a hard time, but the Quaddle was amazing, as it usually is. At just being annoying. The Skaven can't really shoot it too well because its body is so serpentine and weird. And I played a quick battle recently where I shot one with a Rattling gun through an overcasted net, then a Warpstone Scroll, then another overcasted net, and in all of that my Rattling gun got 700 value. So yeah, that thing's wiry body is pretty freaking hard to shoot. GG. Roar. Subscribe, yes.